Will Smith is finally addressing the Oscar slap in a video titled "It's Been a Minute." Smith says he has been doing a lot of thinking over the last couple of months and doing some personal work. Now, in that same video, he answers questions from the fans about the incident. The first question Smith addressed was, "Why didn't you apologize to Chris Rock during your acceptance speech?" Will explained that after he smacked Rock over a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, he had fogged out by that point. He continued with, "It's all fuzzy. I reached out to Chris and the message that came back was that he wasn't ready to talk." Smith continued, "It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know that I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me." What are your thoughts on Will's apology about his actions and how do you feel about it, Al?
You know what? I thought, let's find a positive here. So the positive here was that he finally took accountability. He finally decided to use his Instagram, I think, live and take accountability or responsibility and apologizing. Okay, so that part I can say, okay, that was good. However, for me looking at it was really, really hard to experience that interview. Not only the forum, but the format just didn't come across as very genuine to me. I feel at points in the recording that he looked like he was reading a teleprompter. I felt that I saw a great combination of 30 years of acting. I also saw a lot of pain that he obviously is still battling with, and he still probably doesn't understand the full magnitude of his actions.
Okay, so you feel like it was kind of scripted a little bit.
That's how it felt to me.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Q, do you agree?
I don't know if I agree. To be honest with you, I wish Will wouldn't have even did this at this point. Like, I'm just so over this slap thing. And as we know, every time you bring up something, a little bit of PR advice, you recreate the news cycle. It had kind of died, the whole slap thing, and now this just gave it a rebirth. Now I want to address this whole, why didn't he apologize during his Oscar speech? I was in the fog. Cut your BS. You were still mad, and in that moment, you meant what you did. Okay, like you wasn't nothing foggy. Okay, it was very clear and COVID-free up in that theater. You were still mad, and in that moment, you meant what you did. Apologizing is the proper thing to do. So at least Chris, did get an apology. He also apologized to Chris's mom. I'm just ready for this to be put to bed. And to Chris Rock's point, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, what I really want to see is this thing come full circle. One day they sit down and talk and they co-headline a movie together. And because of this slap situation, those ticket sales will probably be through the roof.
I hear you. The first thing I heard when I got here and I saw Vivica, she's like, "Oh my God, do you see the apology?" She was like, accountability. So I was trying to listen to it out there outside. And I kind of was joking about how I wish he would take it a step further and like really just keep it a buck, like throw all the PR, the media training away, and just speak from the heart and be like, "Listen, my girl had me riled up. I got tired of y'all coming for me, making me seem like I'm soft and I'm a bitch. I'm not." And I snaps. Like, I kind of feel like we got to I think when people speak from the heart like that, it may not be polished and your PR people might be like, "Oh my God, you're too big of a star to do that." But I think it would resonate with folks. And you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing like authenticity when it's not perfect, it's flawed, but it's honest and it's real. And like, you kind of get the whole thing and you can kind of understand, like, you know what? I can understand why you felt like that because people have been coming for you for years. But it is a step in the right direction. I mean, it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
I just feel like when you do something like that was so major and so big, right? That monologue style interviewing just is not it. Monologue style is a safe area for the person who's committed the problem, right? Or who has created the problem. I didn't feel connected at all, Claudia. Like you were saying, I didn't feel like he kept it real. I felt like that this was the PR way to correctly address this. This wasn't the correct way to address this.
And I'm sad about it too. Like, people think I come for them or whatever. I actually really, really, really like Will. I remember meeting Will and Jada at a skating party they had in the Valley years ago. And he just comes off as one of the most kind and genuine people you'll ever meet. Like, he comes off so nice. Like, you really feel it. You meet celebrities, anyone can fake it for 5 seconds. Oh, they were cool. But he just seems so kind to everyone there. So I do want him to get on the right path. I really do. Because I don't want to see this guy.
In that video, he's looking a little haggardly, like he drinking. Like didn't he look a little?
Yeah, he looked a little.
I mean, at this point, wouldn't you though? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, he looked like he's going through something.
Right.
He might. I think he is, and he's at that age. You know, this is that age where you start kind of reflecting on your life and am I happy? And I don't think he is. Okay, well, moving on. Well, Chris Rock has yet to respond to Smith's apology video, but he did address the Oscar slap during 2 of his comedy shows on Sunday. Rock said, anyone who says words hurt has never been punched in the face. He also said, I'm not a victim, bleep, he continued. Yeah, that bleep hurt, bleep. But do I need to say these bleeps? Okay. Yeah. But I shook that blank off and went to work the next day. I didn't go to the hospital for a paper cut. So he's basically like saying, I shook that thing off. I went back to work. What are your thoughts on Chris Rock finally addressing how he feels about the slap? I mean, it's been a while, and I thought it was going to be a grander thing because remember, there was talk like it's going to cost us money to see this thing. Q, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think it's honest. I mean, listen, after you get slapped in front of 10 million people, you got two choices. Crawl up under the bed and pull the covers over yourself and be a hermit, or shake it off and go back to work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's literally all you can do, unless you're gonna pull up on them and fight. You know what I'm saying? So, his response to me seemed very appropriate, and we did see he got back on the comedy circuit and went back to work. It just is what it is. I think Chris Rock's attitude right now is, I don't mess with him. I don't F with that Negro, and I'm just over here doing my thing. Like.
And honestly, like, no one should even rush that process. If someone slapped any of us on stage, it would probably be forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be hard to. Al, what you think about this?
I don't know. I would me personally, I would like to see Chris do more of a sit down and talk it out, because I really want to know how he really feels, instead of him joking about it all the time. And I understand he's a comedian, but I would just like to see him take this head on, because it was pretty pivotal. I mean, it was pretty pivotal in entertainment history, right? But let me ask you this. Do you think that Chris Rock owes Jada an apology?
I don't. I think when it comes to award shows, roasts, Oscars, that joke was so mild, and it wasn't about alopecia. It really wasn't. My brother has alopecia really bad. Like, my brother, he looks a lot different than how Jada looks. Like, it's very blotchy. He lost his eyebrows, mustache. Like, you can tell there's a condition there. Jada still looks beautiful. Still looks great. She's always rocked a shortcut. And I don't think that it was a alopecia joke. I think it was a short hair, a buzz hair. I think that it was such an overreaction. That's my opinion. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. Q, what do you think?
I don't think he owes her one, but I will say, just as a man, if somehow he catches wind that, she would like one for whatever reason, it cost him nothing to give her one.
Yeah, that's true.
It costs him nothing to give her one. If that'll help bring closure and healing to everybody, it's like, my bad. I mean, I didn't know what y'all were going through personally. It was a joke. My intentions were pure. I was not trying to dig at her health. But, now that I know that there's some background stuff going on, I apologize. And hopefully we can move on. That costs you nothing.
Right, right. Now that it got so big, right. But then it's like, once you get slapped, you're like, F everybody, I'm not apologizing.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's a human response. And that's,